Blessings, blessings. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how I cook up what some people compare an omelet. They use garbanzo bean flour. I wouldn't say that it tastes like an omelet, so I'm just gonna show you what I do with this garbanzo bean flour. All right, this has lots of protein, and we're gonna do kind of like a omelet with it. I've already cut up mushrooms, a little bit of habanero, some bell peppers. Oh, we're gonna throw some garlic in there. Let me throw some garlic in there. I'm doing this with one hand, guys, so be patient with me. Let's see if we can make it happen. So here's the garlic. I'm gonna just toss that in there. All right. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. So this is gonna just be high protein because we're gonna pour this garbanzo bean flour. So let me show you what I did. So here's the bean flour. I added spring water to it. Some of the turmeric. I used turmeric, onion powder, Old Bay seasoning, salt, pepper, cayenne pepper. That's what I put in the flour, okay? And then I added the spring water to get it at this texture. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just gonna pour this into the veggies. My cousin Valerie has had this. Let me see, I'm trying to think. Normally if I had my two hands, I'd scrape that out, but right now we're just gonna do it like this. And it's very, very, very good. You could use it for breakfast. Some days I do intermediate fasting, which means won't eat until 12 to maybe 8. And then you're fasting from 8 until 12 p.m. or 8 p.m. all the way to 12 p.m. the next day. All right, so we're just gonna let this cook up. And like I said, it's almost like an omelet. I'm gonna let it cook up, and let's see what the benefits are to this flour. So right off the top, we've got protein, 7 grams. Sugar, it seems like they gotta put sugar in everything. There's 1 gram of sugar. Carbohydrates, 18, and this is off of a 1/4 cup. And I probably used about a 1/4 cup. But again, that protein, remember, people are always worried about your protein. Oh, calcium, 23. That's pretty good. Iron, 2. Potassium, look at that. That's nice right there. So, garbanzo bean flour. This is a great addition to your vegan kitchen. I'm cooking up some. I don't want to call it an omelet because then you might be expecting an omelet flavor. If you want a true omelet, then you would get the just egg. But that's about $7-8 for the just egg. And this garbanzo bean flour, I think it's like $3, less than $3. Okay, so you definitely there's a difference in price there. All right, so I'm sorry, I have my chili cooking in there, so they're choking me out a little bit. See if I can get this to flip it. So I used mushrooms, bell peppers. The bell peppers, thankful I got those out of my garden. I bought bell peppers from Costco, and get those out of my garden. Now what I'm going to do is kind of see. Probably needs a little bit more, yeah, a little bit more cooked up. You can also I put nutritional yeast in there. That's also a good idea. I hope I might have not have stirred up those garlic when I poured that in there. So there might be more garlic on one side than the other. So if you're doing it, be sure to stir it up a little bit better than what I did. All right, so it does have, like I said, it does have a omelet type of look to it. I saw this recipe researching other people, other chefs and what they do, and saw this recipe and thought, you know what, let me try that out. And I really like it. So you're just gonna let it cook up. Got the fire on low. I love cooking with my pan, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to top it with some refried beans. I know my cousin says you eat beans all the time. I do. I love beans, so call it what it is. I like beans. Lots of protein, and they're very yummy if you know how to flavor them up good. So again, we got this going. Now, if I wanted to, I could have used the coconut and herb infused. So there's cannabis in this coconut oil, and you know, you're headed off to maybe going somewhere and you don't have the ability to take your herb by smoking it. You can actually just cook up your food with it, and this would be herb infused. So kind of like that. I like doing that. I didn't do that today, but lots of times I do that, as you can see, because I'm down to a little bit. So again, this is garbanzo bean flour that I just mixed up. I just wanted to come on real quick. This is my first meal of today because I've been busy. Thank you to everybody who picked up their prints. Let me see. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I think I can. I'm going to see if I can put you guys here for a second. All right. Apologize. It is hot. The chilies. The habaneros, I got them from my garden, but I guess they're pretty powerful. Here's another thing you can do for cheese. This is called nut cheese, and it supposedly comes from, let's see, cultured from creamy whole cashew milk. All right, so we could top this off with the nut cheese, so I think I might do that. So we're just letting it cook up. There's onions, mushrooms, garlic, habanero, bell pepper. Again, the G-bombs, greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, and seeds. Those are the things that you want to be putting into your food. So I'm going to add a little bit of this to it, top it up, and let's see if I can do that right now. Just gonna add a little bit on top if we wanted it to melt. And this cheese does melt. Again, it's not cow titty juice cheese. This is made from whole cashew. So I top those off, and let's see what the ingredients are in here. Water, cashews, coconut oil, potato starch, modified food starch, sea salt, nutritional yeast. I don't know what that fava bean is. Natural flavor. That's the thing that we want to try to avoid. So this isn't something that I would do all the time, because whenever they say natural flavor, you don't even know what they're talking about, right? Yeast. All right, so, oh wow, I was already supposed to eat this. We're a little old. All right, hopefully we'll be all right. But again, This, you can, if you really want that cheese, you want to stay away from the cow titty juice, there are other things out there like this one. So this looks like it's almost going to be done. I'll go ahead and take a picture for y'all. Thank you for joining. And again, we were using garbanzo, a bean flour, to create these. They're not really omelets. I don't want to call it an omelet, but and they're not fritters because I'm not frying them. So I don't know. Garbanzo bean cook up, I guess. All right, y'all. See you. I'll post a picture when it's all done. Thanks for joining.